Okay, this is the Dallas, I think it's Arbiter, Dallas Arbiter. This schematic of the fuzzface was downloaded from a brilliant website. Really love it. Not a YouTube channel. It should be a YouTube channel, but I don't know I found one yet. So of course this is Fuzz Central. Just type it into Google, and this guy who runs it has got loads of different circuit diagrams and pictures of printed circuit boards of the inside of fuzzes, transistor fuzz boxes over the years. He's particularly keen on germaniums, but I've never had much success with the germaniums. So we write out a components list, starting with resistors. All right, 33k, 330 ohms, 8k2. Sorry, I should put it in there. 8k2, 100k. Right. Capacitors. Two 0.2 U F, obviously. 0.01 and a 20 microfarad. That's all the capacitors. And transistors. Right, each one of those, happen to know, there's a variety you can use here. BC108, BC109, BC109C, which has got higher gain, BC183L, BC209C, NPN silicon. In fact, the choices there, the broad number of choices indicates that pretty much any general purpose high gain NPN silicon transistor will work. So in this particular instance, I think we're using BC549C, which is a plastic equivalent of BC109C. There's also potentiometers. One times 500 K log, which that's actually B 500K. And my intention is to keep this as close to the original as possible. So that, in fact, is a lin. So I haven't got a log pot. Sorry, it's going to have to be a lin. And this is a 1K B or lin. So my intention is to build it as close as possible to this. Now it turns out you can't really, 20 microfarad capacitor as in this one. Can't seem to get them, but I've got a 22. So let's consider that capacitance tolerances many years ago in the 60s and 70s weren't as close as they are nowadays. So it's definitely within range. And there's also a... Is that the 2? Sorry, let's have a look at that again. It's a... So it's 2.2K. Sorry, start again. This is a 2.2 microfarad capacitor. That's this one. And this one is a... They're asking for a 20 microfarad, but I'm giving... I can't get a 20, so I'm using a 22. There is one other issue. I mean, it shouldn't really make any difference. In fact, I know damn well it won't, but trying to get this as close to the original as possible. This is a 0.12 0.012 or 12,000 picofarad. No, yeah, 12,000 picofarad, which is the same as 0.012. So what I'm going to do is, in classic hoof bag style, build this thing on a lump of wood with screws and try it out and that. Alright, so here we go. Drill a hole. It's going to take some time, so this will be sped through in usual YouTube you know, fashion. In this instance, I'm using brass screws with screw cups. Okay. Now, I also mentioned something about this is a strictly no soldering project. So, just want to demonstrate that you don't have to go out and buy solder and a soldering iron. Although it doesn't cost much to do all of that, you may not want to get into soldering. So this is why we're using this screws on wood method. Now, it just so happens that I pre-soldered these potentiometers with long leads on them, but there's a way around that, which we'll discuss later on. 1K can go there. Turn it that way around. Yeah, I just had to disappear for a moment to hold it here. So this is a bit of telephone wire. Buy it on eBay. You can just type in phone connection wire, and it consists of 6 strands, 4 or 6, doesn't matter. Colours aren't really an issue here, because we're going to strip the plastic off. BC109 equivalent, BC549 Something I forgot to mention in the parts list. This is smoke alarm battery clip. It's actually out of clock radio. There is one of my uploads actually does detail. It's about clock radio dismantleization. If you find a broken one that nobody wants, don't ever throw it away. Always take the spare parts out. There's lots in there. A lot as a video that I've uploaded, YouTube video, about scrapping a clock radio. Always a good idea to scrap one of those. Of course, these days most people use their smartphone to wake up to. So clock radio somewhat become a bit obsolete. Right, this is being very difficult, but get it in there eventually. That's the 100k, which goes between this is the base bias, transistor 1 base bias resistor, which comes from the emitter junction, the emitter of the CR2, in which case it's a way of stabilizing any temperature variations, thus eliminating thermal runaway. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm making the I've actually made a mistake there. The collector goes there. Collector, that's correct. The collector. In fact, I shall pull that out and bend it the other way, like this. Okay, alright. So that's the collector. .2 microfarads. Observe the polarity. Negative goes to the input side. Negative of the capacitor. That is that way. There. So the 0.01 capacitor goes between the junction of the 8K2 resistor and the 330 ohm resistor. For some reason my camera went off. I've no idea why. Using a Motorola smartphone for this. There's one thing to put in, and that is the emitter bypass capacitor. She just realised that I made a bit of a mistake. When I did the potentiometer, the 1K, I put the two of the connections together, which wasn't a good idea. Still work. Just won't have any control over the fuzz, that's all. Gonna stop for a bit. Be back soon. Okay, we had an unintended jump cut there. The phone, Motorola, what's it called? Something 7? Power 7 or whatever. Decided that it was going to stop recording, so actually deleted some previous photos on there. So anyway, I got to the point where I'm having the 33K orange. That's be 33K, and it's going between the supply and the junction of the 330 ohm resistor. Okay, that's there, to the collector and base junction of the transistor 1, transistor 2. Don't know why they call it Q, but there you go. I'm not going to worry about that, I think. So there we go. Let's connect it up. Hope there aren't any continuity errors. Please excuse if there are. And someone that's quite close to me told me that when they're listening to videos, my movies, my YouTube uploads, sounds a bit like I'm on drugs or something, like I'm stoned. Well, in actual fact, I'm not. I never take any recreational substances. I only take drugs that the doctor prescribes. It's just my choice. I don't really get anything out of it. Good luck to those who do. If they want to do it, that's fine. I don't judge them. I mean, so the point being there is that because I suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome, also known as ME, right? Diagnosed in 1989, so it's a long time ago. Have improved considerably since. It's pretty much a major inconvenience. So of course, when you go to the doctors these days, and you see they tend to, the doctors or the medical community use the illness ME when it suits them, and other times it doesn't. They don't. They refuse to. So I'll give an example. I had an accident on my fingers, near side front hoof, right? And went to the hospital and to have it operated on, and it was Hayward's Heath, hand specialist area, front offside hoof specialists. And they said, any long-term health conditions? I said, yes, I've got a formal diagnosis, a formal NHS diagnosis of chronic fatigue syndrome. However, of late, I have improved considerably, basically because I've been living in the countryside, fresher air and everything, that all helps towards one's recovery. So when I got the information back to send to the doctor or whatever, it said no health issues whatsoever. So in that particular instance, they've gone and said it's been convenient for them to not mention it. However, I went through a phase of falling over quite a bit. You know, I'd be walking around trying to get some exercise, and I'd just fall over for no reason, sort of like a brownout, like a blackout type thing. It's like while I'm walking along, I lose concentration of what I'm supposed to be doing, control of my feet, you know, and just find myself on the ground. And of course, the landing on the tarmac or the grass. It's a quick wake up. And so, of course, go to the doctors and say, oh, look, I've been suffering from an example. Oh, yes, I've been falling over quite a bit lately. And that was it. I injured my knee when I fell over. And I said, look, I'm often falling over and I'm getting really fed up with it. And, I keep hurting myself and coming to the doctors to check out, say, a knee bruise or something like that. And I can't carry on like this happening. I'm just wondering if there's something wrong. And what they say is, well, you've got ME, haven't you? In which case, it's convenient for them to say, okay, well, you're falling over and you lose consciousness a little bit because of ME. So that's where the medical community actually use your diagnosis and to basically get them off the hook. I mean, when a person that's got chronic fatigue syndrome walks into the surgery, it's what they call a heart sink case. So, oh my God, what can we do here? Just want to get you out the door. That's about it. And of course, this was all caused. There's a video upload of mine. I'm sorry, it was from BBC or something like that. Frontline, actually, it was Channel 5 or Channel 4 Frontline with the late Dr. McIntyre, where she describes, gets interest in ME. It's called Frontline, and it's all about ME and various subjects every week, but usually family issues. And two psychiatrists decided that they were going to say, oh yes, ME is all in the mind. It's not, it's not really an illness. So anyway, as a consequence, I invent these, jokes about a psychiatrist who doesn't believe in ME, blah, 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 blah. Not always original, I have to confess. They're usually jokes about people in other communities or areas of England. Essex girl jokes, which aren't, because I've known Essex girls and nothing like that at all. And every Irish person I've met, is contrary to what the jokes say, have always been extremely intelligent. In fact, so it's just a misnomer. So anyways, I got a nice one. Right. Psychiatrist who doesn't believe in ME goes to see his GP. The GP says, look, you're going to have to stop masturbating. And he says, well, is that because I'll go to hell or because I'll go blind? No, it's because I'm trying to examine you. Bob bob. There you are. So, let's get on with this fuzz box. Of course, it'd be interesting to upload the actual picture of the fuzz face, getting back to fuzz issues. Guitar effects. I should also mention that Fuzz Central doesn't just concentrate on fuzz boxes. They're also wah-wah pedals and I think memory, I'm not sure. But it's a great site. Really, go to it. I shall put a link in the description. Back again, jump cut. One thing that I've just decided is this blue tack, because the thing's all jumping all over the table, so stick a bit of that underneath. There we go. I mean, I've checked this fuzz box for operational like function and shit, sorry, language. It's fine, works perfectly okay through headphones. So just disconnect it for a moment, trying to keep the circuit as close to the original as possible. So even though it works without this potentiometer, I'm going to connect it anyway. And there's a way of eliminating the potentiometers, as I will explain later. Sorry about front hoof obscuration. Okay. Okay, another hole. Let's get a shot of that. So I've just wired up with solder, bypass the switch. Blue and yellow. That's Swedish flag. Sorry, green and orange. I don't know what flag that is. Can go there. And the guitar, that should go there. Green and orange. I'm making a pig's ear of this, aren't I? Bear with. I think I've got it sorted now. This is what they call a true bypass switch arrangement. It's basically a two-pole, two-position switch, and in one position it's through. Right, in other words, it's like a piece of wire has been connected from the output, the actual fuzz box. You have a signal coming in, signal coming out, and then you've got a choice with the switch, is either true bypass or effect. So I connect to blue. Yep, goes to the output, which goes into a stereo system I've got there. This is it's playing through what they call a binatone composer, a twin cassette thing, that's with radio. I'll take a picture of it. I'd like to point out it's not a particularly good idea to plug a guitar into a home theatre or stereo system amplifier. You can never really tell if the thing's overloading, and it's obviously a very expensive repair, and well, sometimes these days you end up throwing stuff away. So this is the clean sound. So it's coming from the guitar through this switch, which is the true bypass, and into the phono, so the disc phonograph socket of the binatone stereo system amplifier. Then we flick the switch to get the fuzz. Then we can adjust the input. Twiddle to bring the fuzz back in. Okay, this is using the I'm operating the 1 k ohm potentiometer, which is the fuzz level. So the fuzz is actually variable from clean, I don't know, maybe. I'm using guitar Honer G3T with a EMG select pickup. It's got quite reasonable output, but I think when this was originally designed, pickups, maybe, I don't know, I'm not too sure, maybe they didn't give out as much, who knows. This is an output control. It's one of the reasons why you should never use your hi-fi as a you know, as a guitar amp. Correct setting for a fuzz box should be equal volume with in effect, out effect. I think that's a really nice sound, actually. That's enough. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this build. Okay, goodbye.